There we go.
Welcome to the Good Atheist Podcast. My name is Jacob Fortin. I say podcast, but that's not exactly true. This is actually a video cast, although most of you will probably be hearing this in this audio form. But we're trying exciting new things on the Good Atheist, and today another exciting thing is my guest, Catherine Dunphy, who was the former director of the Clergy Project and who's now the operations manager for a new website that is let me see if I get this right. It's Rational Doubt.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's the name of the website, Rational Doubt. And what is the Rational Doubt? If you could explain that, I think it'll explain a bit more about yourself.
Okay, so Rational Doubt is a blog that is on the Patheos platform, and we are a meeting place for members of the Clergy Project and members of the public. So that would include, anybody out there, including perhaps maybe doubting clergy that are looking for a little bit of dialogue to discuss their doubts. So that's really the focus, is that we're going to have some open discussion with people from the Clergy Project that were inaccessible to the public before because everybody was off on the private members-only forum. So this is a public place to a meet and greet, to socialize and to engage.
Right, you're putting your toes in the water,
yes.
And this is kind of one of those ways of doing it because we realize as a non-believer community, blogging and the internet is pretty much the way that we all communicate. Is that right?
Yeah, well, we live there, right?
We invented the internet, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, and every single operating system that you use, an atheist designed. Yeah, we kind of own it. We built it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's our thing. I tried to explain that to the guy at the Apple store when I was complaining that I had to get my airport up and running again. And he didn't buy that somehow the internet is owned by atheists, but he'll come around.
Well, this is a kind of every time I read an article that comes out being, well, the internet was responsible for the drop in religiosity, and then there's a bunch of other articles that say no, because religious people are also using the internet. And that kind of stuff. But I think that when you are in the community itself, there is no doubt in your mind because you're like, it wouldn't exist without it, right? Like, let's put the numbers. As what the atheism scene without the internet, what is it?
The atheism scene without the internet?
Yeah.
It's kind of isolated, I would think. It's little pockets here and there. The flow of free thought is halted without it.
Well, we're kind of crippled without it. But luckily, everybody else is addicted to the internet. So I think we're going to be fun for a little while. It's the crack cocaine of the electronic age.
Thanks for that.
Now, let me give you, give us a tour. Yeah. Give us a tour. You're a Torontonian. You pour, the crack cocaine of it. I hadn't thought of that. It just slipped out.
Yeah. It's okay.
My condolences to your city.
Thank you.
Now, let's get a bit of a background on you because I think that this is your involvement in the Clergy Project goes back to the fact that you were really trying to get involved from early childhood in religion in a serious attempt. So give us a little bit of a history of why were you so serious about religion? Why did it matter to you so much, and when did it start mattering to you?
Well, I was raised in a very religious home. I was raised Roman Catholic, and I kind of think of it now as it was the type of Catholicism that is more akin to the Middle Ages than, the 1980s and 1990s. So we attended church all the time. We prayed the rosary on our knees. We were told to do novenas, we shied maybe away from a flagellation, but everything else was kind of like, this is our religious home, and this is all I knew. So I had nuns in the family and surrounded by that idea of religious vocation and priests, and so it just kind of made sense to me in my very naive, indoctrinated way. At an early age. So when I was 18, I actually inquired about joining the convent and talked to one of the higher-ups that I had known my whole life in this particular order. And she suggested that I go and study some theology. So after I graduated from high school, I went off to university at a Catholic university, and I studied some theology. And because I had been reared in this really religious home, I had all these questions about, well, what does my religion mean? And when I read the Bible, I had even more questions because the Bible is just, it's a very confusing book for adults, let alone children. And I wasn't just reading, a child's Bible. I was reading the big, Catholic Bible that sat prominently on the coffee table in the living room. So
were you avoiding the the donkey cocks kind of passages of the Bible here, because it's a pretty fucking graphic book for a child here?
it is, and I didn't understand this. I didn't understand the conflict and why it seemed so violent and aggressive. Leviticus just, even at that stage was just like head scratching and kind of mind numbing. There's just this list of rules and how many of them related to women and women's bodies, and just how disempowering reading that felt. So when I went off to university and took my first biblical scholarship course and my first intro to theology, it was like my mind was kind of blown. I was like, wow, I can keep all my beliefs and I can kind of morph them and massage them and understand them on a different, maybe more intellectual level. So it was a good thing that I went and did an undergraduate degree in theology. But then, I went further and started my master's so that I could be a chaplain. I started off, I wanted to do an MDiv MA so that I could be a chaplain while I was working on my PhD. So that was really my goal. I was giving my all to theology because I felt like it gave me these answers, and helped clear the waters that were so muddied, when it came to me trying to interpret my faith on my own.
So let me get this straight. Was it the more you're confused, the more you're kind of... Oh, sorry. Were you so confused that you were basically... the more confused you were, the deeper into the religion you were getting? Is that kind of like...
Well, no.
The solution was more, like every time you had a question? Is that how it was?
More that my context was religion, right? Even though I was educated in the Canadian school systems and
Right.
introduced to science and evolution and all of those things, my faith was kind of the predominant influence. So when it came to kind of understanding concepts in physics or chemistry, they were in conflict with my faith in some ways, right? And so I kind of avoided science, and even though I found some of it really intriguing, and was always kind of circling back to my faith. That's actually kind of a pattern for people of faith, is this idea of circling back. This circle of doubt, this idea that doubts are going to emerge, and you just have to kind of follow the route back. Maybe that's why labyrinths are so popular among a good percentage of the population, because it's like a prayerful meditation type of thing, and it's calling you to think, but then come back into the fold, to circle back. So yeah, you could say I was confused, but I was coming from the perspective of my faith had to survive. That was all I knew. I think I lost you. Hmm. Oh. Hi, I'm on my cell phone. So can we try this on Skype? Is that what you want to do?
I'm just gonna explain. Like, it is. Remember how I said it? Like, my internet problems are just.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep happening. This is a nightmare. This is a freaking nightmare. Like last time, I think the reason we didn't have that problem is because we weren't broadcasting.
Ah.
So I'm just gonna have to figure. I'm just gonna have to. You know, we're gonna have to postpone indefinitely until I solve this problem.
Okay, no
It's
problem.
freaking frustrating. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Damn it.
It's okay. Hey, we can definitely do this another time. What was I gonna say? I have on Skype an audio set record thing, so we could, if you wanted to, and you're unable to get it figured out, I can record it and then send you the file, and you can edit it.
Okay, well, why don't we do that where your end is recording? We'll just do it as an audio thing,
Hmm.
and then at least I can sort of like have that for my audience, and then
Yeah.
because I can my internet is so unreliable that at least if it's with you, I can edit it some other way.
Okay, so let me open up Skype, and we'll try it that way.
Sweet, we do.
Okay. All right.
Do you need to hang up with me, and then you'll call back?
I will. I'll call you back.
Okay,
Okay.
great,
Bye.
thank you.
No problem. Okay. Dunphyh. Okay. Hello? Okay, so it's recording.
Oh my God.
I can't see you, but your voice is loud and clear.